We are now live on YouTube. Chairman, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. The meeting is called to order. Acting Director Skidaroff will please call the roll.
Thank you, Chairman Johnson. Good afternoon, Chairman and Commissioners. I'll take roll call. Chairman Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Randall.
Here.
Commissioner Maldonado. Here. Commissioner Ellis.
Here.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Here.
Commissioner Steele.
Here.
Commissioner Shi.
Here.
Chairman Johnson, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. The quorum has been established. This is now the portion of the meeting where we have registered speakers are allowed 2 minutes to provide comments. Please proceed with the public comment period.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for joining us today to share your comments with the PBC Board. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, public participation provides an opportunity for residents to share their comments with our Board of Commissioners. Although this is not a question and answer session, staff are happy to follow up with you after the meeting. As a reminder, public participants must register 2 hours in advance of the meeting and are allowed 2 minutes to provide comments. As stated in the PBC's resolution adopted by the board, all public comments must be limited to issues concerned before the board and its committees. Remarks of personal nature directed toward a member of the board, employees of the commission, or any other individual will not be permitted. Although we welcome public participation and public comment at our meetings, conduct or behavior that is not respectful or in violation of our anti-harassment policy will not be tolerated. Thank you again for joining us today. Mary Pat?
We have 4 registered speakers. 2 are in attendance at this point. So I'll call up our first speaker who's here, Mr. Kenneth Newman.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. I am asking you to take a look at what's on the agenda for Kenwood High School, because it's really interesting that Kenwood, of all schools, is getting some new structure so people don't have to go outside. And yet Kenwood was the high school that more than 10 years ago couldn't get its athletic field built because people thought the field was going to attract the wrong type of people. So I really would appreciate, Mayor and Commissioners, if you would look at other schools that are suffering from the same problems that Kenwood used to have, because frankly, the Kenwood field is not a really good representation of what can be built for CPS or the Park District. So we need to get an athletic facility built, a much better one like the one in Jackson Park for Sullivan High School, and put that in Warren Park, for Diet High School and put that in Washington Park, for Kennedy High School in Wentworth Park. There's empty land at Curie High School. We need to, that's an athletic facilities desert area. We need to get a new turf field and track built in Mather Park for Mather. And there are other locations where we need to do this so that our young people can develop their athletic talent. And right now, the Board of Ed, frankly, is not looking at this. It's looking at things that are not going to solve the problems of juvenile delinquency. They really need to get the athletic facilities built so that we will get more kids in sports and keep them out of trouble. Finally, I want to see, when we build athletic facilities, I want to see advertising on those facilities, because the advertising is going to help pay for new construction. And we can start by selling naming rights to the stadiums that belong to CPD and CPS. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Newman.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Ms. Teresa King.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is
No.
Teresa Gang. I'm the CEO and founder of Sugar Bliss, a woman and minority certified retail bakery and consumer packaged goods company located in the Loop. Sugar Bliss was established in 2009, and we offer over 200 different products. We ship nationwide, and we sell our packaged cookies in Walgreens with a 5-year partnership to expand nationwide. Sugar Bliss is rapidly expanding in other retailers and markets in 2024. We have a social mission. A portion of the proceeds support women and minority entrepreneurs and environmental conservation. I recently celebrated 16 years in business, and owning and growing a business in Chicago is not easy. There are ways the city could assist small businesses to start, grow, and stay in Chicago. Crime. The murder rate is decreasing, but theft, robbery, and vandalism are increasing at an alarming rate. Crime needs to be under control for any business to want to start, grow, and stay in Chicago. We co-manufacture our cookies in Massachusetts. For Sugar Bliss to build a manufacturing facility in Chicago, crime in Chicago needs to decrease. I went to the University of Chicago and worked in finance, and the sudden increase in paid sick leave will hurt small business owners. This is the most expensive paid sick leave in the country. There should have been a gradual one-day increase for the next 5 years or an exemption for small business owners under 25 employees. The increase from 5 to 10 days will severely impact small businesses to start, grow, and stay. If the city wants to do more business with women and minority certified businesses, the city needs to make sure opportunities are known to the WBDC, CMSDC, and chambers. Many small businesses don't apply for these opportunities because they don't know of them or fear not being paid on time within 60 days as they are confronting costs and payroll. I am on the board of the Asian American Chamber of Commerce and the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce Small Business. And if the city of Chicago believes small businesses are the backbone of the economy, we need to lower the crime, have labor ordinances that make economic sense to the business that are employing people, and have more women or minority certified businesses be part of the contract. I truly appreciate your time and hope that I can be a resource and an advocate for the city so small businesses want to start, grow, and stay in Chicago.
Thank you.
Next, our speakers who are in attendance at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Consideration for approval of minutes. Meeting held November 14, 2023. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? So moved. Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say nay. The motion is approved. Consideration approval of an amendment, the intergovernmental agreement between the Public Building Commission of Chicago and the City of Chicago Inspector General, our acting director, Ray Gideroff. They didn't spell it right this time. We'll provide the recommendation.
Thank you, Chairman Johnson. In January of 2015, PBC entered into an intergovernmental agreement with the City of Chicago's Office of Inspector General, serves as the Commission's Inspector General. The goals and objectives of the Inspector General are to promote integrity, effectiveness, efficiency, and economy in the Commission's programs, contracts, and operations. They provide independent, fair, and objective evaluations relating to our resources and operations and assist in improving the programs, activities, and operations of the Commission. The First Amendment extension, extending the agreement through 2023 was approved on November 13th of 2018. Today, we are seeking a time extension only for the term of the IGA until December 31st of 2028. That concludes my report for item A4.
Okay, thank you for that report. Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
I move. I had a question as well, Mr. Chairman.
All right, there's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, and discussion, Commissioner.
Thank you. So it doesn't talk, at least in here, it does not talk about sort of the costs associated with it. Is there what's the billing process for that? We have a number.
We do have a budgeted value
Okay.
for our annual budget as part of next year. And in terms of invoicing, that invoicing comes through with the Inspector General's office for processing on our end.
All right. And then I just want to note that the term of the agreement is through December 31st of 2028, but it also allows for the termination of the agreement, by either side with 30 days notice.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any other questions? All right, there's been a motion. It's been seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say nay. This motion is approved. There's a report by the acting Executive Director regarding regular reports, development status, and other matters. Our acting Executive Director, Ray Gideroff, will provide the report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I wanted to say thank you. We wanted to say thank you for the discussion that we had in the dialogue at our November board meeting. I think that it allowed us to go back and rethink some of the items that you requested from us, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. So during that meeting, we engaged in that conversation regarding our financial status solvency. There was a lot of very good, compelling questions that were asked during the meeting, and we had an opportunity to go back and really conduct a comprehensive review of our work in the past that you had asked us to take a look at, our current work, and any strategies for identifying efficiencies moving forward. So today, we're going to walk through the information that was requested, and we looked at it in multiple ways. A decade before, and then a look ahead for now and in the future. And I've had opportunity and privilege, Mr. Chairman, to talk to a lot of our commissioners about strategies and ideas. And I appreciate those commissioners that I spoke with regarding that. So under, as shown on the screen in a moment here, and under tab A5, really this is, and it's in your board books as well. It's a comprehensive review of a decade worth of investment in that decade from 2012 through 2022. And there's a few things to note on the slide. Number one, the overall investment value over that 10-year period, approximately $2.4 billion. And those percentages that you see to the left in the circle surrounding the $2.4 billion represents a percentage of that budgeted value by client. So the information to the right, I think, is just as important. It shows the diversity in the type of work that the commission has provided services for. You'll note that the majority of the work is related to renovations, facility improvements, so on and so forth. Although the value of that might be lower than our new work projects or new construction projects, it really demonstrates our ability to perform successfully on that diverse portfolio by client. And those clients include all the partners that are currently in the room, including CPS, of course, City of Chicago's Department of Planning and Development, our partners at AIS and CDOT, Park District, City Colleges, MWRD and CTA that we perform work for over the last, over this period of time. As a follow-up on that discussion, we took a look at the WIP that you see on the screen right now over the last 10 years and the fluctuations in what that WIP is. And a lot of this is directly tied to, and you had an excellent question, Mr. Chairman, regarding programs versus projects. And you'll see on the slide coming up that those budgeted, that the WIP for those years are directly tied to large program level projects program level undertakings that we were lucky enough to get from our clients. And you'll see some of those on this slide with the major program undertakings. And they're noted precisely for those years that we undertook those projects from 2013, 2015, 16, 17, and 2021. That program level work is what you saw in the slide previous with those spikes in our WIP based on available capital, based on improvement needs by client, and based on that year for that program that we undertook. This next slide represents the construction workers and trade resources over that period of time. Our community hiring initiatives for workers and trade resources, approximately almost 3,000 community hires, which equated to almost $37 million of dollars earned by those community hires. Approximately just over 19,000 City of Chicago residents were employed. Over 49,000 employees who earned over $425 million, of which over 47,000 male and over 1,800 female trades that we were able to employ through this investment. And that's the real impact. That is the real investment in these communities where it's tangible, it's recognizable, and to the point of our projects being a reflection of the communities that we work in, Mr. Chairman, this is sort of something that we're really proud of. And to that end, we do compare what we do nationally, and I'm happy to report that if we're not equal, in a lot of cases, we're better than the national averages in that regard. The next part of the conversation surrounded where we are and where we are going. And some of this information on the slide, preemptively, I've talked through it with some of our commissioners. Obviously, the current procurement construction opportunities as listed under this quarter include work with CDOT, our partners at AIS as well. And in addition to that, the anticipated construction procurement opportunities include continuing work with AIS and CDOT and our partners at CPS, specifically related to one of the agenda items I'm going to be speaking to shortly regarding the Kenwood Mechanical Link project, and then anticipated construction procurement opportunities for second quarter of next year, which includes the Morgan Shoal project that we're really excited about, and additional work that we've identified from CDOT. And incidentally, since our last meeting, other opportunities have presented themselves, Mr. Chairman, that we'll continue to report on, that being our partners at the Department of Planning and Development, and really resetting the way that we think about doing business, Mr. Chairman, and that it is sort of a privilege for us to work with our clients rather than expecting to work with our clients. And part of that has to do with course correcting some of the items that I think we could do more efficiently, communicate better, learn or have a comprehensive lessons learned and best practices method to how we do that. And Commissioner Ellis had a lot of good advice for me last Friday evening. So it's those things, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, that we really want to emphasize on. So it's not that we expect that the PBC is going to get work because our chairman happens to be the mayor, but it's because of the services that we can provide efficiently and effectively, and being that extension of all the different partners that are sitting in this room, rather than being out front. We're an extension of CPS, we're an extension of CDOT, we're an extension of the county, we're an extension of all the different organizations where we can provide those services effectively. So what is one of the ways that we can get there? I think awareness, access, education. I think a lot of that goes into what we do to make sure that all of our partners are aware of what we do and why we do it, when we do it, how we communicate, and how we can recognize our own improvements. But we need advocates as well. Part of what you see on the screen is our team relies a lot, not solely, but we do rely a lot on our assist agency partners. And we decided that one of the best ways to advocate for our work collectively, not just the Public Building Commission, but across the city, is engaging our assist agency, coming up this Thursday, in fact, where we've invited the leadership of the assist agencies to come to a conference here in person or virtually. And the intent there is to talk about opportunities that we have upcoming, kind of listen to some maybe criticism, but more importantly, listen to the needs of their membership. But it's also about awareness. It's also about access, not just access to the opportunities that may be available, but access to the Public Building Commission and its leadership. So that when there are questions, I think that being available and being accessible goes a long way. And then working with our assist agencies as well. Is the word getting out to the membership? Does the membership have issues? Does the membership of these different agencies understand when we put a project out to bid, what are those requirements and what are the expectations? I think that will go a long way, because if any agency can't get bidders to bid the work, then that's a different problem that we have to overcome. And one way to overcome that is by engaging these assist agencies, their leadership, their boards, and their membership, whether that be speak there, have meetings here, whatever it takes. We've been to a lot of those over the years that I've been here at the Public Building Commission, and we do hear a lot of different perspectives about the work that the PBC conducts, or even the work that some of our other partners are engaging in and performing. So that's one way to do that, is to make sure that all of our assist agencies are aware. And then the other question that was brought up is the work related to our property manager, Transwestern, and their People First initiative. Their engagement and their outreach, not just with vendors and subcontractors, but engagement and outreach to students at Phillips, for example, and what that means to Transwestern as their initiative and how that corresponds with our initiative and your initiative, Mr. Chairman, to make sure that we are engaging the community, that we do correspond with our stakeholders, and that we are available and that we are accessible. And the work here at the Daly Center isn't restricted just to certain vendors. It's open to everyone. And that's a real good question that you had in November, Mr. Mayor, in that, who and what categories and, who are the people and you know, what do they look like? Where do they live? Which are the zip codes that they preside in? And how do we make sure that they know that there are opportunities here and that the work here is accessible? Transwestern has been a great partner in that we provided the database of information that we have, whether it's specialty consultants, architects, and engineers, but also other specialty consultants that may be available. And that outreach becomes important. Because although the work within the Daily Center, the capital improvement program may not be large scale, but there is work and there are opportunities for M&WBE firms and M&WBE contractors and vendors and suppliers. And that goes a long way to show that we are inclusive, that Transwestern is an extension of the PBC, and that work is just as important as any other work in the city. So I applaud Andre and John that are here from Transwestern in that effort and maintaining that initiative and understanding how important that is for you, Mr. Chairman, and the Public Building Commission. One of your other questions, Mr. Chairman, in November was, you know, related to the zip codes of a lot of these participants. And thanks to Patrice Doyle, our compliance director, and Transwestern for helping put this information together for you. Now, this isn't sort of the be all end all. We intend on continuing these updates, whether that be at each board meeting, Mr. Chairman, or as you request, or as changes occur on a quarterly basis, specifically not just for what Transwestern is doing, but the state of our work. Because the budget that was presented in October, reviewed in November, whereas we had that discussion, but we were able to go back, conduct a comprehensive review regarding our financial status, regarding our work, regarding the type of work that we may perform, and really appreciating the fact that we're here and recognizing that it's an opportunity for us as well to demonstrate how we can better serve all of the agencies that report to you as well. So with that, we want to say happy holidays. The image in the background happens to be one of our projects, the Joint Police Safety Training Center campus. And we thought that would be a fitting end to this presentation. Wanted to say happy holidays. We did purchase some treats for our commissioners, but I just want to say thank you. And I appreciated the dialogue in November. I think that those tough questions were important, and it really made us think about who we are and what we're trying to do on your behalf.
All right, thank you, Acting Executive Director. Is there a motion to accept this report?
Move to accept it.
Is there a second? All right, it's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? I will just say thank you for the work. This is going to be an ongoing process for us to have a clear understanding of where we've been, where we currently are, and where we're going. You know, just recently, even as we have worked to address this migrant mission, the City of Chicago Water Reclamation District had a great collaboration with some property that the Water Reclamation District held. The City of Chicago was able to obtain that and purchase that for this immediate crisis, with the expectation now that it is in the public hands of another body of government to figure out what type of community benefit it could have. Same thing with other parcel that we have purchased during this mission. There are, I would imagine, a number of community-based organizations that are interested in partnering with this body to ultimately not just create jobs, but long-term sustainability for economic development in all of our respective spaces. So thank you for that. And again, I can't thank Commissioner Steele enough. But again, it's another example of how our systems can work together that can ultimately lead towards a community benefit. All right, so there's been a motion to accept this. Second, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed say nay. This report is accepted. Consideration of approval of the revised undertaking request from the Board of Education for the Kenwood High School link and mechanical project located at 5015 South Blackstone Avenue. Acting Director Ray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. PBC received a request from Chicago Public Schools to amend the previously approved undertaking request for the Kenwood High School link and mechanical project located at the address you just mentioned at 5015 South Blackstone Avenue. The original undertaking amount was $8,353,812, was identified by CPS as part of its FY21 capital improvement plan and approved by the PBC and the Board of Education at their August and September 2022 board meetings. Subsequently, CPS and PBC worked together to identify additional TIF funding to support the project scope and program. Based on that effort, the revised undertaking is for a total not to exceed amount of $13,950,000. Following approval, PBC will continue to work closely with CPS on the next phase of the project, including the re-procurement of the contractor, construction, and closeout, and we will continue to work with CPS to reconfirm the final scope, program, and schedule that can be accommodated within the identified funding. We look forward to delivering this important project to the students and faculty at Kenwood High School. Incidentally, there is a LSC meeting that we were invited to by Principal Calloway tomorrow evening at the school at 6 p.m. So we will be in attendance there. Looking forward to talking to Principal Calloway and the LSC about the fact that the revised undertaking was presented based on your approval. We're moving forward. That concludes my report on item E1.
Thank you for that report. And for providing us with this recommendation. Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
So moved.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Are there any comments or questions? I just wanted to be noted that this was approved before my son was a student at Kenwood Academy. And anyone to believe that somehow this was moved through because of my affiliation or my rooting interest. So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say nay. This motion is approved. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Been moved. Is there a second to adjourn? It's been moved and second. All those in favor of adjourning signify